Hey, RV Renovation Nation.
Welcome to the new Look RV Renovation Podcast.
It's a podcast now.
Woo! Do you have questions about RV renovation?
Well, we're sitting down with a variety of renovators who are in the know.
Think of it as a bunch of friends sitting around the campfire sharing renovation stories.
This is the New Look RV Renovation Podcast, where we'll discuss all things that'll help you give that RV a new look.
Find episodes in all your favorite places for podcasts and on YouTube.
Welcome to episode number 1 of the podcast.
Episode 1. Wow.
Episode 1. This is the New Look RV Renovation Podcast.
Oh, this is happening.
Cheers to episode 1.
Cheers.
In this episode, we just want to tell you a little bit about who we are and what we're trying to do here.
I'm April Look.
And I'm Derek Look.
And we are New Look RV Renovation and now New Look RV Renovation Podcast.
So with this podcast, we want to find a variety of ways and sit down with a variety of different renovators and bring information, ideas, and entertainment to everybody out there who's interested in RV renovation.
Yeah, and we have some great people that we've already spoke to and so many others that are wonderful that are lined up as well.
Yeah, we're so excited. We're learning so much. We are deep diving into so many different people's stories and just finding this so interesting. So we hope that you'll come along with us on this adventure and lend your ear and listen maybe while you're doing some work in the RV.
Yeah, what a great idea. So a little bit about us. We have been married now for, 17 years almost.
Holy moly, time
Wow.
flies. And we have 3 boys. One of them's a teenager.
Whoa, how did that happen?
Not sure. And they like to help us out from time to time with the renovations.
They do. I'm not sure if they do, but they help.
Yeah, they're there for demo day usually. Hammers and crowbars, that's their forte.
Yeah.
And so how we got into this was that we had originally been a family that camped. We tent camped. Mm-hmm. And at some point we decided that we wanted to make the transition from camping in a tent to camping in a pop-up or a trailer tent RV.
Yeah, and so, we had, like Derek said, we had been tent camping several times as a family. And I always had a great time during the day when we were out hiking and doing all the adventurous things. But then as soon as it was time to go to bed at night, I no longer really loved camping quite as much. The laying on the hard ground and having to get up in the night to go use the bathroom.
And the noises.
Yeah, the noises.
The uncertainty of what's out there and what those things are up to.
Yeah, animals and murderers and all those things. Ugh.
The last time we were tent camping as a family, we had raccoons break into coolers. We had a giant nesting area of cranes that sounded like velociraptors. So that kind of closed the book on tent camping.
So then we were on a search for a pop-up camper.
And after a long search, we found one, and we had seen several different people online who had renovated them or kind of prettied them up a bit. So we took that task on.
Yeah, we decided, why not? Let's give it a try.
We got it up and running, and we took it on several trips.
Yeah, that summer, it was 2017, I believe. We traveled to South Dakota as a family with that tent trailer, and several other trips across Wisconsin, where we're from.
Yeah, it did our family really well, but before we knew it, we were outgrowing it and on our way to looking for a travel trailer.
Yeah. Do you think we really outgrew it, or do you think some of us are just a little too bougie for that?
I'm not sure what bougie means, but if it means scared of bears, that's April.
It's fancy.
And so we engulfed in another long search to find just the perfect travel trailer for our family. Along the way, we discovered that you also needed to have a tow vehicle. So that was a whole adventure in itself to figure out that side of things. But before long, we had just the right pull-behind travel trailer, headed home, and ready to renovate.
Yeah, and so we deep dove into educating ourselves on how to renovate a travel trailer.
And at that point, there was some really good people online, especially on YouTube, that offered a lot of information and past experiences. And of course, we found that so helpful.
Yeah, that was, without that, I don't know.
We wouldn't have even thought that we could take on something like this.
Right.
So that was amazing. And that's one of the reasons that's really snowballed us into this podcast, that, as we've continued on this adventure of RV renovation, we've just found that there's such a great community out there of people who are doing this, have done this, and are willing to share their experiences and information.
For sure. And we kind of want to pay it forward and continue to educate others.
Plus, we'd like to hear more of their stories because through Instagram or even through YouTube, you're only getting these small snippets. So, we're curious. We'd like to know, what other people's backgrounds are, maybe how they're running their businesses, what they've found out.
Yeah. So that first travel trailer that we bought for our family was a 2008 Keystone Outback, and we started demo and got to work.
Think what? We did paint, we did flooring, we did new countertops.
Some new faucets, backsplash.
We debadged the outside.
Oh, yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
to
so
debadge it all.
it was a big project for us. Big project. But in the end, we thought it turned out pretty nice.
Yeah, and we got a lot of nice compliments for it as well. And so we were ready. We were ready to set out on our journey we had taken 30 days off work, and we were ready to travel west to Yellowstone with our 3 boys in tow.
And that was quite the adventure. I'm sure some point down the road, maybe we'll get into it a little more in depth, but served us well. The travel trailer did a lot of great things for us. We made a lot of great memories in it. But when we got home,
someone had a brilliant, or was it brilliant, idea.
I decided, hey, we're going into winter. We're in Wisconsin, so we're not going to be able to use it. Why don't we list the travel trailer?
This RV that we just spent the whole summer renovating and then taking a 30-day trip in, you want to sell it?
Well, I don't know if I wanted to sell it, but I figured, hey, let's put a price tag on it that, who's going to pay that, and let's just see what happens.
Yeah, that didn't make me so happy. I remember being kind of sad that you were listing it.
But I was pretty certain, like 80-20, 90-10, that there was no way it was going to sell.
And then
it sold in like 24 hours.
And we no longer had a travel trailer.
But we did have a pop-up camper still.
And then we listed that and sold that.
In like 24 hours.
And so we went from having a 30-foot travel trailer on the side of our yard, a tent trailer in our garage, to no RVs. We were no longer an adventurous family.
But that's okay because, like I said, it was going to be winter. We had time to, find another travel trailer over the winter, early spring, and we could start from scratch with the renovation.
Yeah, and so we spent the course of that winter looking and shopping for RVs, but there wasn't a lot available. And then spring rolled around, spring of 2020.
That's when things got hairy, as everybody knows. And like we mentioned, we're entrepreneurs. We run our own business. We run a photography and video studio. And quite a bit of our business is related to events, and whether those are like weddings or like business conferences, that sort of thing. And when COVID hit and lockdowns began, cancellations happened across the board. And before we knew it, like everybody else, we were sitting at home. And in our case, we were pretty much unemployed.
We really were, huh?
Our revenue source had shut off.
Yeah, we actually had to make the difficult decision to close the doors to our physical studio space that we had had for 15 years.
And that had become a large part of our identity. It was a place that, we worked and we created, and, it was just that was part of who we were. So that was a very tough decision, but it was very clear that we had to make some tough choices at that point, and we had to find some way to pivot.
Yeah, and pivot we did.
So we took that idea out of our back pocket of renovating travel trailers. We had done 2 already, and they had both sold, and we said, hey, maybe this is worth another shot.
Yeah, but yet it seemed so scary. Fortunately, we had some money in our savings account kind of tucked away for a situation like this. And to be spending that or shopping for an RV, to be using a significant amount of our already dwindling savings was pretty scary.
Yeah, I think it probably looked like a gamble, but I don't know. To us at the time, it probably felt more like an opportunity. It was an opportunity to do something that hopefully would give us purpose, but also help keep the lights on.
Yeah. So we found that travel trailer that we were going to renovate. After looking a little while, we brought it home and we got right to work.
It was quick. April had, found some good inspiration online. We had put together a pretty good plan, and this renovation happened fast.
It was like 3 weeks. And then it was listing day before we knew it.
Yeah, so we had a lot of interest, and the people that eventually ended up being our buyers had come to look at it, and they were talking about, when they could pick it up and, how the financing was going to work out with, their bank and all that sort of thing. I just got done talking, with them about that, and I walked back to the house, and then April had some news for me.
I found another RV that I was ready to go look at the next morning and purchase if everything panned out.
And so it was like this mad dash sprint. We found an RV, we renovated it, a lot of long days, a lot of long hours, got to the finish line, finished it, sold it, and then all of a sudden here we were lining up to do another one.
Like within 12 hours.
There's nothing like having your business shut down and owning 2 RVs at once. That's but this had obviously to us become, a business opportunity. It was an opportunity that was in front of us, and we had to jump all over it.
Yeah. So we ended up, spoiler alert, ended up buying that second, well, it was technically our third, but buying that other RV, getting it home, and getting to work on that.
Yeah. And long story short, here we are. We're starting our 7th renovation now. And circling back to, why we're here is that we love to learn, we love to do, and we love all these people, all the people in the community who love to share, all their ideas and methods, and it's inspiration for us. We feel like it's inspiration for so many others. And if we can do something to bring those ideas and those stories together and put them in a format that people can listen to, especially, when they might be out in their RV working on these projects that take hours and hours and hours, we figured, hey, why not?
So come along for the ride.
It's going to be fun. Hopefully it's going to be entertaining and informational. And we look forward to seeing you down the road.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Some of these episodes have me like in tears, literally. And then other episodes have me laughing. It's just, these are some great stories, and I can't wait to share them with you guys.
RV renovators are constantly overcoming challenges. They're finding ways to move forward. They're doing things. And we hope that these stories will inspire you.
Should we get into it?
Let's get into it. And if this sounds like a show that you'd like to listen and hear more of, please subscribe. You can find links on our website at newlookrv.com, or you can find us on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button and tell any friends that you think might be interested in RV renovation.
Let's get to it.
Let's do it.
Here comes episode 2.
It's a good one.